Hello everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play Blades of Avernum. Last episode, we completed a pretty short and simple scenario. Wasn't too bad. Now it's time to move on to another one. This one made by some guy named Metatron. I imagine it has no relation whatsoever to Metaton from Undertale. Anyway, let's go investigate and see what this scenario is. Enemy at the gates. Megiddo is under attack. Who will protect it? And wait, who's attacking? The people of Megiddo are mostly peaceful and mostly craftspeople. There is some farming, but most of what the small city-state produces is traded away, and most of what they consume is traded for. The nation is ruled by the wise, benevolent King Valiant from Megiddo Tower. Each city in Megiddo has a representative to the king. General Seth and the Watchmen protect Megiddo from outside threats. Megiddo is cradled on all sides, shielded from its neighbors. To the south there is a cruel desert, to the east a peaceful sea, and impassive forests to the west. It suffers from frequent, weak earthquakes. There is only one close neighbor of Megiddo. These people to the north, known as the Hunan, are a barbaric race. They are naturally hunched over and dim, an itinerant and shiftless people. On the other hand, the people of Megiddo have built a splendid civilization. They have perfected the process of paper-making, and the kings of Megiddo have built a magnificent palace atop Mount Megiddo. You've heard that someone in the Megiddo palace is offering his quest. It is to this palace that you now journey, to see what fortunes are to be had. You stand at the gates and peer in. Ooh, fascinating. No, I don't want to jump off a ledge. The guards of Megiddo are proud, upstanding fellows. They risk their lives and sacrifice their individual desires in order to protect the common people of Megiddo. However, they don't have much to say. The guards of Megiddo Tower watch you closely. The tower itself is the marble building to the north. You heard someone named Cynthia in the tower had a quest. From here, you have a decent view of the courtyard of Megiddo Palace. It is dominated by a statue of Helios, the mythical guardian of Megiddo. It is said that God himself immortalized Helios in the form of the sun. The symbol of the royalty of Megiddo, two crosses overlaid upon each other, serve to represent the light of Helios. The symbolism is repeated in the shape of the courtyard. Interesting. It's just a captain. I figured we wouldn't be able to take anything. The motif of the Megiddo double crosses is repeated here. There are fires kept burning in this courtyard, symbolizing the eternal guardianship of Helios. There is no statue of Helios, only of Lord Cato. He is the one responsible for bringing Megiddo into a new age of prosperity. Doubtless he paid quite a sum to have his own statue be placed here. He and his family are very wealthy and very powerful. I'm just looking around, as I do. Okay. Well, if the place we're supposed to go to is to the south, let's look to the north. Let's look to the south first. Or here. This small shop is run by a petite, pretty woman. She smiles engagingly at you. Hello there. I don't think we've met. I'm Marissa, the finest baker in these parts. Can I buy some bread? Don't need any. This shop is a great location. Marissa smiles and flushes, pleased by your comment. Well, thank you. It certainly does. Everyone in the whole tower has to walk by my window and smell the bread baking, and it just makes them so hungry. And then, of course, I see everything that goes on in the city. I've seen some... I don't mean to talk about such things, it's not fitting. Okay, then. Ah, training area. Judging from this man's arms and armor, he's an archer in the service of Megiddo. He curtly nods. I go by Deadeye. What do you do? Deadeye shifts uncomfortably. I was originally a hunter from a small village to the southwest, but then I joined the Megiddo army and I became a cartographer of sorts. Yes, maps. Although lately I've just been waiting here. It involves a lot of traveling and looking very closely at things. And surviving. He abruptly stops, leaving more questions unanswered. So you're a spy? Yes, I spy for the king. I did a really terrible job hiding that, didn't I? He doesn't seem overly concerned. Have you seen anything interesting around the castle? Nothing that would concern you, or me. What's there to see outside the tower? There's much to be seen by someone who has the right eye. For example, did you know that in Hunan to the north there's more than just trolls and horses? There's giant birds to the far north, larger than a man. And I'll tell you something else. I'll tell you this because you'll look like the sort of person who might appreciate this, and the other person who might appreciate this is a despicable creature. Outside the tower and to the southwest there's a village. Nestled between the village and the mountains there's a bush. It's the only one nearby that grows red berries. And beneath this bush there's a special plant that grows. This plant is known to wise men and sages. If ground and dried properly, it makes a powerful draught that can restore vitality. Could be a good thing to know. Alright, thank you very much. This woman appears to run the local tavern. She waves at you. I'm Portia. If you need anything, just shout. This couple is having a nice meal at the local tavern. Although they are suspicious why you're bothering them, they are nice enough to make pleasant small talk until you leave them alone. Simple enough. Nothing in there. Ooh, some copper coins. Yoink. Okay, nothing else down here. This rough-looking gentleman looks to be a foreigner, probably one of the sea people. Their people are known for ferocity and the constant threat to shipping that they pose. But Megiddo is apparently tolerating these people. There's probably a good reason for it, but they aren't known for their intelligence, chattiness, or hospitality. This man stares at you with dark, glittering eyes. When you try to talk to him more, he simply points to the east to the curtain. This white-haired man looks like he spent some years at sea. He hasn't grown fat and lazy as he aged, like the Megiddo nobles tend to. Rather, he's kept himself on his toes and always active. When you enter, he's counting a vast pile of coins. They look to be from all the different nearby nations, and together they could probably buy a city somewhere. The man looks up from his fortune and nods at you. Peace to you. I am called Manucher. He has an accent, although it's hard to place. Looks like one of the sea people, although he must have either spent a lot of time in Megiddo or spoken the language enough to grasp it pretty well. What do you do? Manucher shrugs. I and my brothers will do anything if the price is right. I mostly lend money, but I also will fetch any item you ask if you pay up front. And sometimes we provide protection for traveling merchants. Times are rough. He grins, seeing as the sea people are responsible for half of piracy and other crimes committed on the seas to the east. This is kind of ironic. Can I have some of that money? Manucher looks you over and shakes his head. Although I do lend money, you do not have the look of a trustworthy fellow. You look like you'll either be gone or dead in a few days. It's nothing personal, just business. Business looks good. Manucher laughs and runs his hand casually through the vast pile of coins. Ha ha ha! So it is! This comes from the delivery of a large quantity of Megiddo's precious paper. Manucher suddenly looks at you more closely. Actually, perhaps we can do business. I have an interest in gathering as much paper as I can, and I sell it to foreigners. Perhaps you can find me blank sheets of paper. He points to the northwest. The woman there, she is a shrew. If I could find the same paper at lower prices, I could increase my margins, and I would pay you fairly, 15 coins per sheet. Do you happen to have anything for sale? He does. Nothing we need, though. Lockpicks would be nice, but we have plenty. That's all for now, thanks. This is your first and last warning. Get away from that door. Okay, leaving alone. Nothing in here. Supplies of wood. Nothing in here. The owner of this shop looks to be a noble from his style of dress and generally high hygiene. It's strange that he would himself work, and especially on a job so menial as blacksmith. But on closer inspection, this isn't a blacksmith. This man is a goldsmith, presumably making the owner one of the wealthiest and most skilled people in the nation of Megiddo. He appraises you, trying to gauge how much money you might spend here. He doesn't seem happy. The owner of this shop, probably from a noble family, looks at you disdainfully. Perhaps you are lost. The tower proper is to the north. There you can find a job suited to your skills. He idly twists an ornate ring on his finger. He's not even doing any work, he just wants you out of his shop. The goldsmith doesn't even bother telling you his name, he just assumes that your presence cannot serve him. Do you have a problem with me? I rather think I do, but I don't have to justify my conclusions to anyone, especially not dim-witted ruffians like you. Buy something or be gone. Let me see what you're selling. Nothing we need. It's not as if I keep pieces simply lying around waiting for you to drop by. I work on a contract basis. I'm known all over the world. I'm sure. Well, if you don't mind. Yoink. Have fun, pal. Huh. No one saw anything. Can't take from there. Who are you? Upon first inspection, you aren't really sure what this shop sells. Perhaps magical scrolls or sketches? But you look at a rolled up piece of parchment in one of the cubbyholes against the wall. The sheet is blank. The shop is managed by a tall, severe woman. She stalks toward you, eyebrows raised so high that they've disappeared underneath her hair. May I be of service? I am Dunaflin, paper product seller. What's going on in these parts? I don't expect country ruffians such as yourselves to be expected to keep abreast of politics. The prince has declared his intention to marry Lady Caria, the daughter of Lord Cato. But King Valiant protests the arrangement because Lady Caria has a formidable reputation. Rumors swirl around her. Doubtless they are unfounded, but persistent. Is this your shop? She begins nodding, then shakes her head. I suppose it is not. I manage it, but in the name of Lord Cato. From his estate he ships high-quality paper to my shop and elsewhere. Here it is greedily bought up by the Megiddo University, the tower's scribes, and by others as well. The magnificent new techniques of Lord Cato have brought great prosperity and reverence to Megiddo. So I suppose I run this shop, but it is not mine to do with as I please. We could buy, but not going to. How is paper made? Isn't it very hard? In my mother's time it was. Only the sages used paper, and for others it wasn't worth it. It was too expensive. But Lord Cato invented a new way to make paper, a way that greatly reduces cost and time. It involves machinery that steams and threshes and mashes. I'm not familiar with the details myself. The principal work is done at Lord Cato's estate. I know, though, that now it's cheaper to make and thus available to the common man to use. Now it has allowed us to pass on and record so much more knowledge. Truly a godsend. Indeed. And it also has some value to it. There you go. And now, I have paper. And I will buy it then. He counts the sheets that you bring him, and for each sheet he gives you 15 coins as well. Not a bad deal considering the paper is useless to you. Alright, moving on. This tiny hallway is meant as a place of study for students of Megiddo University. It is very quiet because the place is empty save for one student, diligently reading his texts. This is one of the students at the Megiddo University. Presumably, these people know what they're doing. It's best not to bother them. You look at the entrance hall in the Megiddo University, designed to impress and inspire visitors. It is small and cramped and smells vaguely of herbs. Typical place of higher learning. See if there's anything in this library here. Seems the answer is no. Ah, hello. This wizened old man appears to be a teacher in the school. He sets aside his tools to give you his full attention. Greetings. I am Warren, a teacher of herbalism here. How may I help you? What do you do? He draws himself up grandly. I am a teacher in this fine institute, a teacher of the anatomy of plants and where to find them and what their uses are, and I still share my knowledge with any who will listen. I do not venture out of the castle so much as I am too old, but I show sketches and samples of plants and how to prepare them in potions and the like. Can you tell me about the history of Megiddo? Something escapes Warren, either a dry laugh or a cough. It's unclear. How many years do you have? The history of Megiddo continues back as far as any record can show. Since Helios, there has always been a Megiddo. We don't know for sure when Helios lived, or even if half of what the legends say is true. But according to folk history, Helios founded the ancient Megiddo at the site of the Fire Temple and carved out a nation. He repelled the vicious barbarians, the Hunan. They originally lived in these parts too, but Helios pushed them to the north. Then he built a civilization. It is said that Helios found favor with God for this. And so, God took Helios into the sky and made the sun and Helios one. So long as Helios' light shines upon us, so long as the eternal fires of the sun survive, Megiddo will be protected. Or so the stories go. And it is said that the children of Helios continue to rule over us. King Valiant and Prince Mercian can, I have heard, trace their roots back to Helios himself. And I have heard a rumor as well that General Seth is a distant relative. Who is Lady Caria? Warren pauses and shows some discomfort. Lady Caria, was my student once. A very avid, adept student. But she surpassed me as an alchemist. I don't know how. His voice has a tinge of jealousy. But I do not closely follow the doings of Lady Caria. Perhaps she has found a more excellent tutor, though I know of none. Or perhaps she has unearthed old, forgotten knowledge. Then again, perhaps she has simply succeeded in learning and doing what I cannot. The mind stagnates and wanders. Can you teach me of your cures? We can learn. Energy potion, yes. Expensive, but those are useful. I wish I could teach you for free, but alas, you are not enrolled in the university, and then a man must eat. Do you need any help fetching ingredients? His eyes actually light up. As a matter of fact, I do. It is clearly the benediction of Helios that has sent you here. He eagerly outlines an assignment for you. Outside this castle and to the east, there is the original Fire Temple, built by Helios himself. Underneath the Fire Temple, there are caverns. Huge, vicious bats and spiders live in these caverns. But they shouldn't be much trouble. Anyway, there are several useful ingredients to be found in this place. The fangs of the bats and spiders carry venoms that I use in my potions. I'll pay 15 coins per fang. And in the deepest parts of the cave, I have heard that there is a pool of strong acid. I would like a sample to analyze. If you can bring me this, I will pay you 100 coins. There's a guard who stops travelers from unwittingly venturing into this dangerous place. Tell him I sent you. He should allow you to pass. Sure, sounds simple enough. This is one of the bureaucrats of Megiddo. The nation is known for its craftsmanship and for producing vast quantities of paper, and the people of Megiddo seem to go to excessive lengths in order to use as much paper as possible. This man is busily scribbling notes and adding sums and generally occupying himself with scholarly things. He considers your conversation to be without purpose and disdains your contributions to society. Conversation with him is unpleasant, but at least it's pleasantly short. This man is busily scribbling notes and adding... Okay, same thing. Ooh, what's this? Ah, this must be a classroom. Okay. This is one of the students at the Megiddo University. Presumably these people know what they're doing. It's best not to bother them. Nothing there. Just a scholar. Can't take anything here. Nothing in here. Do we all have cloaks? We do. Nothing there. Okay. Oh! This man is one of the most important in Megiddo, although you wouldn't know it by looking at him. He's a carpenter, and in this time of great growth for Megiddo, this job is vital. Right now, it looks like he's busy finishing a cabinet, sanding down all its rough edges before delivering it. He doesn't stop sanding, but he talks over the sound of his work. Hello there, I'm Prig, and this is my shop. Can I buy anything here? He shrugs and waves towards the back of the shop. That's what I have for sale at the moment. There's a table, carts, and shelves. Are you interested in any of those? If you buy one, I'll sell you a second piece for half off. Oh, and the chair. The chair is especially nice for sitting in. How is life? I can't complain. I have a house and a job and more work than I know what to do with. I'm a simple man, that's all I need. Okay, thank you. Simple house. Yoink. And in here, nothing of value. Okay, so this must be the tower itself. Ooh. More lockpicks, yes. And a ceremonial dagger to sell. And this must lead into the palace itself. Which I think we will go and investigate in the next episode, because this episode's gone on about long enough. Or at least it's at a point where I want to pause. Next episode, we'll go into the palace and see if we can find what exactly our quest is. Till then, I'm Chester44, that is Fox, Sheik, Bonnie, and Draco. This has been a Blades of Avernum Let's Play, and I shall see you all next time.